Ooh, he says I'm live. Well, there's a shock to the system. So, hello, good evening, and welcome. I've just come on here and see if there's anybody kicking about that wants a card reading or just wants to catch up with energetic things in general, or if you're just like somebody who's wandering around the internet for something to do and you'd like a bit of entertainment. Well, here I am, sat here at the moment feeling like I'm a little bit schizophrenic because I've got these voices going on in my head and I haven't got any company to go with it. So I'm struggling at the moment in headspace. So what I've done and what always lights me up is when I come onto here and work with people, work with your energies. So hi, Rachel. So the aim is to just talk to people and see if there's any interest in a few card messages. And it's one what I'm actually on here tonight for a couple of reasons. Yes, I'll always pull cards for people if I'm round and about. I have got in front of me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different decks here that we can give messages out. I'm on here to promote as well. I've been doing work today on promoting my spiritual guidance, spiritual counselling things on there, because around me at the minute, truthfully, things have gone a little bit quiet. There's not a lot of people using my services at the moment, and I'm waiting for a couple of events to come in. And I've just been spending that time on YouTube today, because I want to gently shift the focus onto what I actually do, what I actually love doing, what I'm guided, where my heart and my passion is actually working in what I call the spiritual treacle, where we're going into the mind with people and we're helping them past problems and shining the light on it. So like your counselling and your guidance, there's lots of things that are sort of in my own mindset at the moment, and rather than sitting there and saying that I'm a guide or a guru and you should do this, that, and the other, I'm hoping to share my journey that over the last sort of 10 months since my dad passed away. It has lit up my way of thinking, and it's triggered quite a lot of things. Now, I'm quite a stubborn bugger, so I don't like asking for help very easily. So what I am doing at the moment is I'm doing research. So I've finally managed to get the book out that I've been meaning to read, and that I'm going to go along the therapeutic route for myself and start to see if I can put things into place. I'm rebuilding the scaffolding, if you like, around myself to protect my energies. But as I say, and I've said this on previous videos, as soon as I get the opportunity to come on live and pass on messages and hopefully of upliftment and things like that and tarot card readings, I just light up. Hi, Kath. Yeah, good pick on the background tonight. I just thought we'll come in here and we'll put these on. And the name, the Alien Shapeshifters, on there purely because that's one of the things that I got thrown at me a couple of broadcasts ago. That I'm not a genuine person. I'm actually an alien in a suit. I'm a shapeshifter. Well, if that was the case, I'd be disappearing out of my own mindset at the minute quite a lot, because all I'm doing is going round and round in circles, and the only place I'm in danger of going is disappearing up my own arse. Anyway, so guys, just waiting for a few more to come in, and if you'd like a reading or a card or a sort of spiritual kick up the bum, shall we say, then I'm your guy. So I just want to show you my new deck that came in and just give you the story behind it. So these are the Fallen Angel Oracle cards, right? And there are beautiful artwork on them. Now, I am one of the worst people for procrastinating when it comes to spending money and buying things. So a few months back, I went to a show and I was determined to change my approach with some of my cards that I actually do when I'm reading professionally. So I go to look at these cards, and my usual form is I pick something up that I'm drawn to because I am that spiritual magpie. I do like the bright and shiny things. So I picked them up, had a look at them, and then went, I'll have a think about it. Went to the pack next to it, picked it up, and same thing. So I walked away. In my head, my little voice goes to me, right, you know what your form is? that you will go away, procrastinate, overthink, worry about money and all of the rest of it. You'll go back and they'll have sold out. So if I was you, I would make haste and go back and pick the ones that you've looked at. You've obviously drawn to them for a reason. Right, okay. Brain goes, okay. So I walk back after I've just done a reading and go, and she went, I'm sorry, they've gone. She said about 10 minutes after you left, they've gone. It's like that. You know, people do try to warn you. So cut forward a couple of months and I'm back at another show. Same lady with a store. She says, those cards that you looked at last time, she said, I've managed to get one of the boxes replaced. I haven't got the others. She said, would you be interested? So I went, right, okay. Absolutely gonna have these cards now. Bang, in the box, getting my card out, ready to pay. Then she goes, she said, now I've got a bit of a treat for you. So there we go. We get it the right way up, the fallen angel, which is what I'm promoting myself on at the moment, doing my spiritual work, is the fallen angel, because I do see myself as that spiritual guide and helper on earth that's probably fucked up in life's past. And I come back down here to help people through whatever's going on in their mindset. So instantly, and this is very unusual for me, and this is one thing I won't be repeating in a hurry, I went, yep, I'll have them. Never even looked at the price, never even considered it. It must be a sign from the gods. It must be a sign from the angels, the inspirers. 52 quid later, and I thought, I think we need a little bit of worrying analytical Rick in the background. Anyway, I've got the cards out for the first time yesterday to actually have a look at them, because this was weeks ago when I bought these, and they are actually beautiful single word oracle cards. And like with any oracle card, they're not factual. Right, they're not one of those things that's going to be life-changing. However, it does promote a thought process. So what I will do is I will incorporate them into the readings and just see whatever it is that I'm interested in doing. Say a few hellos, and then we'll crack on. So hi, Susie. Hi, Rachel. Hi, Cheryl. Hi, Kath. And then we'll start working through them, guys. So let me just have a look at that. All right. So, Susie Dutton, here we go. Right, first shuffle of this deck. They're a little bit new, and they're quite quick when they're new, because the sort of gloss on the thing comes out there. Right, okay. And then I'm just going to pull you a couple of tarot cards while I'm going as well. So, yes, right. So remember that these are advice and guidance. This is all for entertainment and things like this. This was an off-the-cuff thing there, so I've not spent a great deal of time opening up or anything like that, so we'll just go with whatever the storyline is. So my guide is saying to you, Susie, at the moment, to just take a couple of steps back with one or two things, to give yourself time to think and analyze whatever's going on around you, because there's somebody there that I sense is operating at different ends of the scale than you are. You know, you're probably at the love and light end of things, and trusting and giving them upliftment and giving them enough room so that they process their feelings. And they're on the other end of the scale, where they're just taking advantage, because the card that I've got there, and I haven't had time to read all of the definitions, is secrecy. So where does my mind go with secrecy? Well, this is, for me, is I'm going into that swords department of the tarot deck, where I'm thinking, is somebody operating under the radar? Is there somebody there that's not fully telling me the truth? Is there somebody there that's keeping things from me? So there's an element there of communication that's needed. And if you've watched me regularly, you'll also realize that I never advocate for people to argue and fight with anybody. But also, I'm a big one for stepping forward and saying, look, you're mugging me off, so don't take the mickey. So that feeling around that secrecy is that there's somebody just around you that's maybe being a little bit two-faced, a little bit underhand. So just be mindful. I don't feel it's like a partnership sort of thing. So look around your social circle or around your workplace or even bosses or something like that. Just take a few steps back and just have a look if there's any ulterior motives present. The 7 of Wands there for me is being in a position where you feel like you've got to defend yourself. Right? Well, I'm this kind of guy that I do my level best to get on with everybody and negotiate with people where I have to. But if I'm pushed into a corner I'm going to speak my truth. Ones are all about fire. Fire is quite a passion. It is quite a passionate, fuel-centered sort of suit. So when I see this card, I feel like, right, I don't want to defend myself to anybody. I'm not going to have to answer to people if they're being underhanded or saying things that offend me. I'm going to put my case forward and just say, right, this is where we're at. Now, look at the red, the root of the root chakra. The root chakra is all about foundations. It's all about what you're building upon and what you're bringing into being. So you could well do without the distractions, is my feeling with this one. So if you're feeling backed into a corner, just say no. I'm not feeling the need to explain myself. This is what's happening. This is what I'm doing, and it benefits me going forward. Now, when we've got the Two of Cups, that's a beautiful card there, because that's the partnership card. That's where you get your heads together with your nearest and dearest, your best friends, all of the people that share your viewpoint on life. Because it's cups, it's always about emotions. And when I see that, I always see like a union card with that, where we're uniting with somebody. So it could be a new relationship that's blossoming into something bigger. It could be change of allegiance with somebody, but it's somebody that you resonate alongside of. It's something there that's building, it's steadily building. So if you're looking for a changing relationship in any sort of form or another, then this is the card that you would look out for. So good luck. One or two things I feel for you to sort out, Susie, but don't worry about it. I feel in my sense with it all is it's minor. I feel a gentleman's energy in spirit that's just coming in as I leave you, that is, I feel like would have passed with a cancer condition or had issues around the chest area, because I'm definitely feeling a little bit breathless. Just comes in with a big thumbs up for you and says, stick in there, okay? Right, so kick up the bum. Right, so where we're going with that, Kath, let's have a look at that. We'll go with the tarot cards here. What I'm going to say to you as well is don't beat yourself up too much over things at the moment. Yes, I think sometimes we go through periods of stagnation because it's our reality. It's what's going on around us. It's what we have to face in our everyday life. So even if we're thinking we should be doing more, let's be honest, have we actually got the gumption? Have we got the energy? Have we got the resources to make these dramatic changes? Not all of the time. So one of the lessons that I'm going through at the moment is, while I can sort of maintain the life that I've got, then I'll maintain the life that I've got. I'm not going to go into what if land. I'm not going to buy into anybody else's bullshit. I am just working my way through my life with the resources that I've got at the moment. And I'm a big fan of that saying that, I can't remember, Maya Angelou, I think it is, when we know better, we can do better. And the thing is as well, hindsight's always 2020. So there's just things around you where I feel it's a good pat on the back. I've got ladies' energy, which I believe to be mum's energy, coming in for you. And I don't know why I want to scratch my hands as well, Cass. I don't know if you've got some sort of irritation going on the back of your hands, but she's actually saying to you to take care of your hands. Right, so I don't know whether there's some sort of reaction going on to some chemical or something that you're using or something like that. But she's giving me some sort of ointment for your hands. I don't know if that makes any sense at all. Let me know if it does, because it's really strange. It's not my hand that's itching. So let me just see where I'm going for that. Oh, 3 cards have come out for you, Kath. Right, perseverance. Right, so keep on keeping on. I know it's difficult, but when we look at this thing, I've been in the sense in the last couple of weeks where I've got a bit flat with things, and it's not going the way that I wanted it to. It's not going in the direction that I wanted it to. But I'm optimistic, because the sense is that I'm in this space for a reason. I don't always know what the reasons are, and that's the bit that I struggle with, because I haven't got patience. And as I always say to people, if you struggle with a lesson, you're going to get more opportunities to learn that lesson. And this just keeps going round and round in my head at the moment. So when I see the perseverance card, that always says to me that whatever your dreams, your aspirations, and the changes that you're looking to happen, you're actually closer than you think. So I always see this as saying, right, take a break, take a knee if you have to, reassess, reprioritize, all RE in there. So doing again, having a look at again, and keep going, because there are changes on the horizon, but we're kind of like got to meet them, if that makes sense. So even if we're not in that particularly great energy space, it does us no favors by sitting back and, I don't know, wallowing. I don't know what of a better way of putting it. I don't actually mean wallowing, but I just mean getting in that I call it the state of meh, because we're coping, we're doing all right, you know, roof over our head, food in the belly, but we're not where we want to be. So how do we get there? Well, we've got to look at the plans and just see if we're heading in that right direction. 6 of Wands there is all about recognition of your skills and talents. It's practical. So maybe it's a long overdue promotion, a change of venture within your job, Kath. I know sometimes you get bogged down by it, but you've been doing it a long time and you can do it in your sleep. But this is actually being recognized for your efforts, being recognized for your skills. Maybe it's a case of you recognizing your self-worth and your skills and maybe putting out for something that actually gels alongside your current energy. I don't know. Is there just a feeling around the cards with the energy that's coming through for me that I need to sort of find something to motivate me and lift me? I'm okay, as I say, but it's just a little bit of a feeling of flatness. And then we've got the 10 of Cups there, and the 10 of Cups is that beautiful. And for me, it's a bit too utopian, in the sense of that it's the perfection card, because it's the end of a phase or a section. And the 10 of Cups for me is being in that happy space, you know, where all of your family issues are settled, all of your emotional issues are settled. But knowing what I know about you and seeing what I see about you, it's one of those that, how do we structure that coming in? Because everybody's got their own evaluation of situations coming in. But if I was looking for a little bit of an uplift, a boost in my feelings there, I've got all of the 10 cups there in a row, bringing in that emotional stability and that emotional satisfaction. But it's like with anything, once we get to the end of one journey that's given us that emotional stability and satisfaction, then we're surely on to the next lesson. So look out for an interesting 2 or 3 months as it comes in. And I'm not going to kick you up the backside this time, which is unusual for me, Kath, because I don't think that benefits you. So have some time to chill out, get whatever it is that's written down, and this is what's being shouted at me, in order, and then start to put that into place. So this is about organization. Okay, so I'm going to leave that one with you. Cheryl, hopefully you're all well and good. Thanks very much for tuning in. And he says he's looking for the card pile there. So what we're going to do with you is we'll have another good shuffle of the cards there. I want to bring in a gentleman around you as well. And you'll notice the cough there. This is not my cough. I don't have any illnesses or anything like that. 2 things spring to mind as I ask where this energy is actually going. Number one, I want to bring in a gentleman that smoked. I don't smoke and never have done, so I'm very wary of when that smell of smoke comes in, that it's not mine. It's being brought in around you as a memory link or a job there. And I get the feeling with this gentleman that he's got a little bit of nervous energy because my hand's a little bit jittery and shaking. Now, that's not mine either. So he's bringing in a lot of, what's the best way of putting it? It's a push. It's an impetus. It's a momentum to get you out of a bit of a stuck phase, or to help give you some motivation. Thank you. I was looking for the right word. Some motivation to get yourself moving. Hi, Grumpy. Hope you're well. Thanks very much. And we'll keep going through these cards, guys. Yes, and just to reiterate, I'm using these brand new cards there, the Fallen Angel. And if you tuned in at the beginning, the story of me slightly getting it wrong. But there we go. Right. So this, and I sit here and hold on to this card, Cheryl, it says illusion. So this, for me, brings up one of my favorite things. I speak a lot about this, about co-creating your own reality, right? And sometimes we have to stretch yourself out of that comfort zone, and the transitional period from coming out of that place of comfort in your discomfort can often be quite painful. be under no illusions that your next 2 or 3 months in some way or another are going to be a little bit challenging, but no challenge that you can't resolve. So my sense is there with it saying the illusion card is just be mindful of the people that are around you. Ask yourself, are they using you for their own gain? Are you getting best use out of your relationship with those sort of people? And are you getting best use out of your life's hours? So just my sense there is to just get you to ground, do the basics, right? Pull your energies in. Don't be so trusting. Do not be naive to anything and question everything that comes in at you at the moment. So don't invest any time, money, or life's hours into anything without doing your due diligence, is what's being said in my head there, because you've got challenges coming up for you. So we've got the 5 of Cups, which is focusing on a loss or sadness. Now, orange is your sacral chakra. Your sacral chakra is all about that gut feeling and that intuition. So alongside that, that lovely card there with the illusion, what's going on around us that needs challenging? What is it that I need to have a look at and just see where I'm at? Because if we've got sadness in the background, that for me always takes a lot more energy to put it right. So this is maybe about a shift in your focus, because we look at this card here, we've got 3 spilt cups, which is emotions that have overrun, boiled over, or whatever. And that's just being in that mindset that everything's just a little bit flat and a little bit upsetting. But in the background there's 2 cups that have yet to be discovered. So when I'm looking at that, I'm thinking, right, so there's emotional happiness in the future if we could just sort of move away from certain aspects. Now, this is where I have to be careful when I'm speaking on this means, because whenever I talk about emotional stability and being happy and sad and all of the rest of it, please do not think that I include grieving in that, because grieving for me is not something that I want to advise on, because I haven't got a clue. I do it in my own way, how I manage it. So when I talk to people about dealing with sadness, I'm talking about sadness that's been accrued when we're down here, right? Experiences, things that we've had. When people have gone to spirit, I talk in a totally different way, and I don't want to be seen as being blasé with it. So that upset and that sadness there, it's time to find acceptance, right? It's time to find a way out of that. And if you are in a bit of a flat spot there, right, how can we, as in you, climb out of that? Your guides and your inspirers should steer you well. So it's just maybe a case of you just sitting in that quiet mindset, place of meditation, sitting in your power, whatever it is, and just taking time out for yourself. And we've got the lovely 9 of Pentacles there. And the 9 of Pentacles is the businesswoman for me. Money, finances, riches, enrichment, and non-material wealth is what Pentacles are all about. So she's a lady there that likes stockpiling money. She knows how to manage her money. So if you're in a job, maybe looking at promotion and new training to get different things. If you're happy in your job, looking at something else that will bring you in extra money, whatever it is that you put your mind to, because Pentacles is a very earthy suit. It's very down to the ground. It's very feet on the ground, sort of motivated. So opportunities over these next few months for you to look at how you derive your money and your income and what you're investing your time, your effort, and other things into. So challenges, yes, to come out of that sad spot a little bit, but also that there's rewards if you choose to do that. Okay, so thanks very much. Hi, let's say a few names. Hi, Stacey, hope you're well. Alison, hope you're well. Let me keep working through, guys. Right, I'll just go to that. I'll just say say hello to a few friends. Right, I will be honest here. This is not nerves. This stammer, this sort of tripping over my words seems to be something that I've developed over the last few months. And what I put it down to is mindset, that I am really having to slow my delivery down. I mean, I've been on here doing these for the last sort of 5 or 6 years, and I don't have a problem talking in general. But what I found is over these last few months, when I've got over emotional, is that my mindset is racing away. It's getting in front of me, and I'm struggling to remember what I said, and I have to rake it all back in. So the stutter and the stammer comes out every now and again. It's not nerves or anything like that, and spirits certainly aren't part of it. but I'm just explaining myself because I'm on here. Okay. Right, there we go. Let's go on there. Right. So, Alison, right, I'm a bit drawn to something else for you, Alison, actually. Right, so I've got my other cards there, my random deck of cards, as I tend to have. I've got 5 decks in front of me. So let's see where we're going for you. Right, journeys. Right, so this for me, and this might have been appropriate for Kath a while back, but this is what I get for you. So journeys. Now, there's an old saying that goes out there, out in Facebook land and internet land, that the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. So my sense is, with you, Alison, is that there's something around you that is either coming to an end or is something in your mind that you feel like you do need to end. So it's about preparation for going on a new journey. So it's almost stopping the sentence, putting a full stop on it, having a look at what the impact of all of these changes that have been on you over these last 6 months, and plotting for that new journey. Now, when we go out on any journey, we need preparation. You need the kit with you. And I feel that all that you need for you on this new journey is an open heart. Journeys there, the colouring is blue. Blue is all about communications. White is all about those new starts. And what I say to people when I'm doing therapy with them is, don't bring any of your old instructions with you. Don't bring any of your old mindsets. Don't bring anything with you that's previously upset you, whether it's a trauma, whether it's from your upbringing or anything like that. Just bring you and all of your experience to the start line. And when you go past that start line and you start moving forward, take feedback live, because a lot of people prepare for something and they don't experience it. So, I can't do that because I'm not good enough. I can't, my anxiety won't let me do this. My illness won't let, right, okay. Well, there's a decision in itself. So you can actually save energy by going, right, actually, I'm not actually going to do that, am I? So save your energy and then put it towards something that you do want to do. But my advice and guidance is always to say the same thing. Go out on the pathway, experience your experiences live, and then take feedback from it and be responsible for it. So whatever age you are now, you will be bringing all of your knowledge to bear on these new situations. Trust your guidance and your inner being that you're on the right pathway at the right times for the right reasons. I'm not one of these that turns around and says to anybody, get over it, but it's dealing with this rejection. And it's that when I see this card, straight away, I go to my inner child work, the dark side of me, things that have maybe pulled me down a little bit. I was reflecting on something last night and a long buried memory came up, and I'm talking nearly 40 years ago, that came to the surface. And I thought I dealt with it. I really did. I honestly thought it was done with it. When I say buried, it weren't really buried. I just thought that circumstances and 40 years of living as I have done, then I'd be okay. But it transported me right back to that moment, and it bloody hurt. So there was a pointer there to go back into my inner being and do some healing work on that, because that younger version of me at that age, at 12 years of age, didn't understand what was going on. So I've gone back and I've redressed the balance, if you like, and then moved forward, and it took me somewhere else, and I'm going, oh, right, I've definitely not dealt with that. So it's just about stepping onto that pathway now with confidence and knowing that your next journeys are going to be planned and they're going to be more successful than what your previous ones are. So I hope that makes a bit of sense for you. Right. CAT scan, no worries whatsoever. I'm saying this is sort of part reading, part messages, part advertising, you name it. I just wanted, do you know how it came into my head? I sat up here today doing some recordings and trying to get some scripts down and things like that so that I can produce some more videos. I just want it to be like a bus shelter for people that want to come here and just join in with the alternative thought thinkers. I've looked at my channel wholesale and it's not going where I want it to be. It's not progressing as much as I wanted it to. So I'm going to use it to my advantage. I said this on my video that I produced earlier on, There was a guy on here last night that got over 1,000 comments on a 10-minute video, and for me, I just watched it. It was nothing out of the ordinary. The guy was just honest. He spoke his truth. He was having a few mental health struggles and things like that. He wasn't selling any products whatsoever. So I thought, well, that's what I'm aiming to do. That whatever I'm going through, I'm still going to be walking that pathway. Like, my mindset is very, very challenging at the moment, but this is the thing, and I keep repeating this. Every time I get called to work spiritually, step in with people, help with their energy, there is more than enough energy and healing energy being sent to me so that I can manage my own stuff, but also be in that place where the fallen angel in me comes out and protects and helps and guides other people. So, hi, TD, hope you're well. Hi, Grumpy Sapper. We said hello there. Thank you. My daughter gets... Right. So, Natalie, my daughter gets married in weeks. Just wondering if everything is going to be okay. Oh, come on. You know better than that to ask questions like that. You know better than that. What is your feelings? What is your emotions? Now, when I'm a mechanical thought stripper, right? I will pull your cards. I have no doubt in my mind whatsoever. I will pull your cards. But do not put things out into the atmosphere, into the universe, or whatever it is that you want to call it, that there is a potential for something to go wrong, because you will lead your energies towards it. Right. It's a fabulous occasion that's coming up for you. Go out there and celebrate it like you know you want to. Because even if I had that ability, right, here's two things with this. Even if I had the ability to predict the future, which I don't, right, I would use some discernment, and I would be contacting you privately to say, right, I've had this feeling, right? I don't do premonitions. So I don't deal with anything until it actually comes in, right? So if I'm generating an ill feeling or an upset feeling, that's going to cloud my day. So don't put yourself in that space where you're even considering that everything won't be okay, because you know it will. And the good thing I know about you, and that you've followed me for a long time, you know I speak the truth, is that you've been tough as old boots as you've gone along. So even if there was a small problem, right, and I don't even feel that there will be, you deal with it, because that's the sort of person you are. And the thing is about being parents, we have to adapt anyway. Because I don't know about you guys, I've got 3 wonderful kids, but none of the buggers come out with any rule books or how set things are supposed to be doing. And the world as it is at the moment is a very, very difficult place to live in anyway. So whatever happens, you'll be absolutely fine. But because we're on here tonight doing cards, we'll do a little bit of entertainment. And what I'm going to do for you is I'll give the cards a good shuffle there. Right, and I'll put the intent out there that we are talking about weddings and romance and all of that lovely thing there. And what the card have we got for you? Right. And this is what I'm saying. This is about you, right? This conflict, this keeping yourself grounded so that you've got something to worry about, right? It's an inner mind. It's an inner turmoil. What has been drummed up since your daughter's spoken about getting married? Well, it should be all happy feelings. It should be all those, you know, it's the changing of the guard. Is it just that you're struggling to let go a little bit? That, you know, that once where you was in that place where you was the primary carer for your daughter, she's now got a bit of independence. And as this card's showing you, she's spreading her wings. So you're going through this stage of, have I done everything that I can do? Have I prepared her right? Right. This is the thing that most parents struggle with, is as we let our children go, we can always say we'll be there to catch them if they do fall. But essentially, they've got to go out and have their own adventures. You know, it's part of their script. So let's have a look what the tarot cards got for you. One. Yeah. You see, we've got the greatest card there. Right. We've got the greatest card there for emotional fulfillment and upliftment, because we've got the Lovers card. And what I love about this card is, I don't know anything about the relationship that's going on with your daughter and potential partner, but what I feel with this is when this card comes out, it always, for me, I focus on the bicep there. And that for me is that lifting that energy. So raising one another's vibration. So in a nutshell, with your cards there, it's going to be a lovely occasion. So don't worry about it too much. All right. No, I'm going to take that back out of my mouth, throw that in the bin. Don't worry about it at all, because it gains you bugger all. We've got the Two of Swords there, which in your mind, with something there, there's maybe a little detail or something there that you're battling with. Right. Swords, communication. They talk about air, cutting through the illusion. So if you've got a conversation that you've got to have with somebody that you're not relishing, get it done and out of the way, because it's a block. Right. And because it's only a 2, it's not a big block, but it will free your mind up to have that conversation and clear the decks to enjoy everything that's coming up for you. And the only person that can get you out of that mindset, I'm afraid, is when I point that at you, because the hanging man, I always look at the hanging man and think, right, I need different perspective, because I feel like I'm hanging upside down from the tree of knowledge, which is what the history of this card was. And all the blood's rushing to my head and I'm worrying and flapping about this, that, and the other, where the answer's in front of me, fairly simple. Right, if I get myself grounded and I take a step down on there, I can have a different perspective. I can have a look at things. Is there really a problem? No, of course there isn't a problem. There's a lot of work to do, and it'll be hectic, and there'll be lots of emotions and things going on there, least of all yours. Do not panic. Right? Lovely gentleman's energy that's coming in, and just he's just bringing in that sort of disciplinary side of things. So don't put in anything that's not there. You know, imagine that you've got a photograph album there with people that you want in there. Don't put outsiders or negative energy or anything in there. So this is a card there of feeling like you're in suspended animation. Right? Well, you're not. You're responsible for your own thoughts. So come from the side of the stage, engage in the whole procedure and enjoy it. You will absolutely love it. Okay, so I hope that makes sense for you. Felt I got a little bit on my soapbox there, but I'm nursing my own energy at the moment, and I'll tell you that the emotions around me at the moment are all over the place. And like I said at the beginning, I've come on here, I'm honest, I love doing the work that I do, but in my own mindset, I'm struggling, right? And I will find my way through what I call the mind's treacle to find a spot where I can stand on there, because my life, my heart is in helping bring upliftment in for people. And the recognition I want for that is the support on the YouTube channel. So everybody that comes on here, I'm very grateful for everybody that supports me. What I'm learning, and I'm learning the hard way, is to take care of me. Like, stop making excuses. When I'm tired or I'm struggling with things, I'm just going to be honest. You know, it is not a problem. I am co-creating the reality that I want. Or at the moment, because of the space that I'm in, all bets are off. Every option's on the table. Right? I could be a full-time medium. I could be a part-time medium. It just depends. Because until I work through the control panel, because I've said this before, at the moment, I feel like somebody's reached into my control panel and ripped all of the wires out, because even though I might have been thinking all of these thoughts for a long time, it's only when you're exposed to something and you haven't got any other distractions. So like having a full-time career in the prison service, when I was plastering for my own business and things like that, now I've got a lot more time. So the thought processes comes into the little idiosyncrasies that I have, the little twitches, the things there that I'm not entirely comfortable with, but they're all part of me, right? And I'm standing up and dealing with them, but it's taking a lot of energy out of me, because I always have said from day one, I am just me. I'm nothing special in that regard. I am a tool to do a job, and that is where I stay. But I'm also realizing that the energy that I'm being shown and the pathway that is opening up is a fantastic one to be on. And I just hope that as a human being, this everyday vessel that you see in front of you has got the strength to continue along that path. At the moment, do I know? I don't. So until I do know, I'm carrying on doing what I do until things change. So it's no good worrying about that at all. So, Michelle. Oh, there's lots of things that have just fallen out there for you. So I was going to pull you some other cards, but as there's 4 cards coming out there for you, Michelle, we'll work through them. Right. Now, when you do tarot readings, if you're, I mean, I know that you know difference, but if there's anybody out here that is watching this for the first time and they're worried about cards or anything like that, right? There's 3 cards that people tend to worry about, and this is one of them, but it's actually a fantastic card. So the death card never, ever means literal death. What it talks about is the ending of a process. So when we get to number 10 in the tarot deck, that's the ending of a phase. Right. And sometimes we'll just go, yeah, but there's little bits there that could be either way. Right. When the death card comes in, this is the major arcana card. It is saying, boom, we're done. Right. So no worrying about it anymore, because whatever it is, we've gone from a comma and dipping all over the place and going down different pathways and different options to being at that spot where we're studying now. And it's, even if we're in the middle of wreckage, it's done. It's finished. We don't need to go over it. We don't need to rehash it, because once we get in that place of acceptance that something around us that's been bugging us or laying us low or flattening us or even a run of luck with it, it's done. Right. So then we can work through acceptance. Once we work through acceptance, we can then work through that process now of transformation. So the death card is actually a very transformative card. So if you've got something around you where you're umming and ahhing, whether it's right or wrong, whether it needs to come to an end, that card for me says, right, need to bin it, need to come past it, need to leave it wherever it is and start again with something. Page of Swords. So when the Page of Swords comes in, so the pages in the hierarchy structure, if you think about, we've got the kings and the queens that are bosses, the knights there, they are action, they are doers, and then we get the pages in there. They're the ones that bring in opportunities, news of, and they bring awareness to things. With it being swords, swords are about thoughts, the matters of the mind and the intellect, how you think. Swords are air, so they cut through illusion. So when that card comes in, there's an element of somebody that's been around you that might be being a bit of a bitch. Now, whether it's male or female, it doesn't matter to me. That's my terminology. Somebody who's it's usually younger than yourself. It's just somebody there that's like the fly in the ointment around you. So again, even with things like that, if it's in your mindset, it needs challenging. It needs taking out there. So like I have lots of thoughts, multiple thoughts going through my head, and even if they're true, all of them, the little worries, the little idiosyncrasies, do I really need to spend my time worrying about them? No, is the answer, because if they're not going to affect my shopping bill or the roof over my head, I'm not really that interested in it. So it's sometimes about having a board meeting with that internal monkey chatter and just going, right, it may well be true, but I'm not dealing with it. Or I go out there and I deal with it and I get it put to bed, which is where that sort of death card terminology comes in there, that I'm going to draw a line under something there. But taking time out, that if somebody's hurt your feelings by saying some cross words or anything like that, let them know, right? And walk away from it. Disassemble. I don't know why I got disassemble, but sort of taking yourself away from that. So I've got mum's energy coming in with you that's just bringing in a lot of love and support around you and your daughters, just bringing in that love and pulling everybody in for it's a group hug. That's what I'm being told. You'll understand why. One of your daughters, I feel, has been a little bit emotional though just recently. So it's just bringing in that little bit of love and support and guidance. Got our heads together, family time, and then things will be all right. So we've got the 10 of Pentacles, which is what I know is my war chest card there. So it's money, finances, riches, enrichment, and non-material wealth. When we've got those cards in place, that says to me that finances are going to improve. I'm not one of these that believes in the great soprendo coming down out of the sky and going piff, paff, puff. So when I've got the 10 there, I know that there's work to do to get myself into that financial stable position. So take the next few months to not worry about piddly crap and focus on where you want to be in 6 months' time with your money and your finances. And is it going to be all okay? Well, yes, it is, because we've got the lovely Magician card there, which is about having things in balance, because we've got the Pentacles, we've got the wands there that are the fire and the fuel to make these changes happen. We've got the swords there, which is cutting through the illusion and the bullshit. And the cups there is keeping our emotions under control so that we can make this forward progression. So I hope that makes a bit of sense for you. All right, let me, before I disappear on there, Stacey, I hope you're still in. In need of some life career advice on a job interview and still waiting to hear back. Just feeling a little bit lost as to whether I'm on the correct path. Right. I'm doing some work with somebody at the moment, and they're just starting out on their pathway with spirit. Now, for me, I'm one of these real stubborn buggers, you know. If you've watched me for any length of time, you'll know that my background, I was a prison officer for 12 years. I left that 11 years ago. I decided that at 42 years of age, I wanted to own my own business and become a plasterer. That didn't work out for me. I've driven explosives and military stuff up and down the country. That came to an end. I've done a lot of driving up and down the country. But what I can truthfully say to you is that while you've got these on the end of your wrists, you'll always find something to do. So don't put pressure on yourself that you've got to be in that right spot. It's got to be right. So when I'm working with this lady, what I got her to do, because there's always a storyline with people why they ask their questions, is to say, just quieten down the monkey chatter. Just quiet down the old lizard brain. Put your hand on your heart, right? And just imagine that you get that phone call that you've got the job. Is that the final destination that you want to be in? Is that the direction that your career wants to go in? So even if you get something, is it where you want to be? If you don't get it, that to me is a sign that there's another option out there that you need to change. My gut feeling with you, Stacey, is that you're not on the right path at the moment because you're not sure. And my belief system is that when I came from that black and white to this more open to the spirit world, is that everything is energy. So if we're putting out there that we're unsure of something, we're sending out mixed messages, so we get a mixed bag of results. What I will be saying to you is, regardless of this job interview result, start to look where you want to invest your life's hours in. I worked very hard at the beginning of my working life to put myself in the position now, and this is what I'm having to remember. I've done a lot of hard graft over the years to sit in a position now that at just over 50 years of age, that my mortgage is paid off. So my plans are slightly different to everybody else, but make no bones about it. If I needed to go out there and do a day's labouring or do whatever I need to do, I will do it. So I'm always open to that changes, but where is my heart? And this is what I keep putting out to the universe now, right? Is that I want to do uplifting things with people. I want to work with them and help support and guide and just be there in the background to help, because that's what I've done all of my life. I'm not that front foot person. I'm not that one that's going to be the great manager and the great motivator or anything like that, but I'll help you, right? So it's in that place where I feel at the moment that even if you do get this job, look for changes again coming towards the new year. So whether we need new training or new planning or a new mindset, whatever it is, take time out to consider where you want to be. Right. So I'm just going to pull you one angel card on that one. Right. And the message for you is your plans are working out very well. Professional and financial success. And like I've just said there, using your resources wildly. Right. I'll just look through a few more here. I'm at 5 to 8. I'm not going to be on much longer, guys. I shall scroll through and see how many I can get through. Hi, Kate. Hope you're well. Because I'm feeling very drained energetically, and when you're drained energetically and you start something, yes, I know you take your energy from the spirit world, but I'm pulling a lot of healing for myself as well. Okay. Hi, wifey. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all well and good. You've just tuned in just in time. I shall be going till about the hour mark there, and then I shall be coming off there because already I'm gasping for a cup of tea. So if you missed out, what we've been doing there is just a little with my new cards there, which are the Fallen Angel cards, the Oracle cards, and we're just picking a few bits out there as I'm going through. Right, there we go. Oh, hang on. That was not the one right, Rachel. Let me get myself in order. Let me get myself in order. Let's see where we go. Right, let's pick the pace up a little bit with this as well. That's interesting. That's an interesting combination, Rachel. So 2 cards that come out for you. We've got the Fool and we've got the Magician. So we've got step 0 while we're stood there going, not quite sure of direction with things. And then we've got the first step, right? And bearing in mind these have been shuffled, this is an interesting thing in the mindset for me. So when I look at the Fool will put on that mask and say, well, I don't know anything because I'm daft and I'm light-hearted and all of this sort of thing. But then when you start to look into the background, this person here has wired up quite well, right? They're not foolish. They've just got that sense of innocence, that sense of wonder and that sense of excitement. So when you've got that, there's also that feeling of being free, right? You're not tied to anything. You're not tied to a thought process. You're not tied to any traumas or anything like that. It's almost like the kid that you just say to them, right, we're going to do this. Well, they've got nothing to form it on. So they just go out there and do it. And then if things happen to them that they're pleasurable, they'll remember that. If things that are negative happen, they'll remember that as well. But when you're in this moment, anything's in play. The 0 moment is before anything's happened. So what I sense with you is, we talked about the death card earlier, but this is equally as important, is sometimes when we've had things that have flattened us or knocked us down, or we need to have a change in mindset, it takes a lot out of us. We have the victory, we have the win, but we don't always take time out to heal and recover from what's happened. So the sense is with this is that you may well be feeling a little bit flatter at the moment before you take on your next challenge, but it's not the final destination. So what I'm suggesting that you do is to save some energy, right? Start to have a look at your own healing journey and pull in some energy that you've given away to people that's maybe not being returned in the right way. And then consider what your next approach is, because you're anything but a fool. But sometimes we have to gather all our resources in and make a decision whether we want to push on with something. This is a lovely open card. And what it says is be opened. Because if we're open, then dramatic, massive things there that will bring in positive change and upliftment can be welcomed in with open arms, because we've got nothing to gauge it by. Then we get into that space there where we might just get a little bit slowed down. Well, any step is good as long as it's forward, right? We're making progression because life's about forward momentum. So when the Magician comes in, it's telling you, all right, take time out there, because that is green in the background, believe it or not. The green in the background is all about the healing and the heart chakra. So it's making moves that benefit your emotional situation. We've got the coins, we've got the wands, we've got the cups, and we've also got the swords there. So it's been in that place there, right? What do I need to take me on this for you in particular over this next year? What path do I want to be on? Where do I want to be in a year's time? What am I prepared to do? What am I prepared not to do? What is it that I don't want in my life? What is it that I need to get rid of? Because we're on that step 1, we're sort of stood there spinning and kicking our heels a little bit at the moment. So take time out to heal. Do some planning, right? If you've got to sketch it out, write it down, mood boards, whatever it is that you need to do to sketch out your new plan for what's coming up for you over this next year, then set about actually organizing that first step. Once you make that first step, then that takes you a little bit further down, which changes your viewpoint and your perspective. So you may well find that there are a few twists in the road coming, but it's all necessary, because it will bring you upliftment. And you know how I know that? Because you will plan it and make it be so. So hope that makes a bit of sense for you. Cat Scan, hope you're still on. Thanks very much for coming in and joining me. Right, if you've ever watched any of my things, you know that crossroads isn't my terminology, right? And the only reason I say that is because people get overwhelmed when they go, I'm at a bit of a crossroads moment, and then they stand there umming and ahhing about whether I should go down this route, whether I should go down that route, or some of them have even got multiple routes, right? Get in the habit of narrowing choices down to 2 routes, right? Because if we get overwhelmed, we're likely to take a step back and procrastinate and not make any choices because the energy is too much. Now, unless you're an absolute psycho, you're not going to consistently make decisions that don't benefit you. So you can eliminate the ones that you can't, you won't, you shouldn't, you don't do, right? But sometimes it's taking that brave step of just going, actually, no. Right, then we can look at the other ones with a more open heart and look at that and just be objective. Right, can I make that decision? Would I want to make that decision? Do I need new training? Is my confidence up to it? And being honest, right? There's always the option of making a route of your own. But every time I talk to people and they say I'm at a crossroads point in my life, I go, I don't really believe in them. And I truthfully don't. Because once we make a decision, we're going to experience the experiences as we go down that road. We're not bound by it. We can always change and alter our pathway to suit our current circumstances. But this is where I feel that you need to communicate your needs and wishes, not only to the people that are around you, but to spirit and the universe. So always take time out to just sit in your own space there, in your own power. Put your hand across your heart, close your eyes, sit there for a few moments. Call it meditation, call it sitting in your own power, whatever it is. And just take that time to breathe. Right, where do I feel that I need to go next? Now, your inner being and your higher self will never lie to you. So there'll be information. So it may well come in during sleep state. It may well come in while you're napping or daydreaming. Or it may well come in while you're doing some mundane task or another. But trust your inner guidance system because it will never fail you. Right. So, right, interesting combination of cards for you. So we've got two cards there. We've got the Six of Wands and we've got the Six of Wands and the Eight of Pentacles. So the Six of Wands is being recognized for your skills and talents, leaving you in a place where you're going to feel upon high. So it's a lofty vantage point to celebrate. And the Eight of Pentacles for me is what I would call the student card, the studier's card. So learning new skills, learning things in anything there that helps benefit you in the way that you derive your income or money coming in. Now, for some people, it's just a case of going out and doing a skills test or doing something new, college course or something like that, but something that will benefit you when you spend money on it. It could be a business idea that you've got to study or something like that. But it's a fantastic card. Now, when I see this card, I'm also a realist that if you've got a full-time job or you've got a full-time demanding thing where you've got to look after people, then you're going to have to modify your surroundings and your workload. So when I see that, that's all about learning new skills and new studies. But it also leads you on down a path of your choosing. So enjoy the things that are being thrown at you. It will be a test for you, but it will turn out in its own sweet time. This is what I'm just being shouted at, patience. And I also want to leave you with a gentleman's energy that is showing me about doing crosswords and word puzzles. Just bringing in a quick wave like that, blows you a kiss and then just disappears. Andrea De Freitas, let me see where we're going with you. Thanks, guys. Yeah, if you could hit the like and subscribe button, that would be really appreciated. Thank you very much. I will do that. And I'll tell you, I'm being honest with this. I don't understand this algorithm thing. I just come on here and do my bit, do my level best. I'm at 349. Right, and I realize that when you're doing this work, you've got to consistently post stuff on it, because in this swipe generation, you're soon forgotten in an instant. But I'm not big-headed. I don't think, please worship me or anything like that. But I do get quite disheartened when you lose a big proportion. Well, for me, it was a big portion when I lost 7 subscribers. And the advice that had been given is please sort of put stuff on there. So you put new stuff on there so that this is not people that have just randomly come on. This is people that have been on for a while, because my numbers haven't tended to move very far. So this morning I got up and I looked to see how the new videos had done, and then there was more subscribers gone. So I've just got a little bit upset about it. I'll be perfectly honest. I've got too sensitive about it. I'm doing research into why that might even be the case now. And I will take steps to make sure that those emotional situations don't overwhelm me like they have done today. But I still really appreciate the support and the comments and everything that comes through. And I value everybody that comes on here other than the scammers. And I don't value them at all, to be fair. Right. Right, so I just heard from the spirit world. So that card there, if we can just get that in camera shot, is recuperation. Recuperation. Now, I'm also thinking there as well as the recuperation aspect of it. In my mind's eye, there, I've also got the I need to double check this. The Four of Swords, I believe. And the Four of Swords is all about recuperation, because there'll be somebody that's sat there on, like, laid on their bed needing to rest. So recuperation, convalescence, pretty much the same thing for me. So it's taking a rest from your thoughts, from your battles, from your over analytical self. And again, I think it's been the running theme of these cards tonight is to take time out when it's needed, sitting in your own power, considering what's gone on. Spirit is saying to me that we could take you back as far as 6, 7, 8 years, where it's been like a bit of a roller coaster with you. You know, you've really been riding the waves here. And what I found with a lot of people that tune into these spiritual forums is they don't always take time out to actually realize what they've gone through, because they're just on that next thing. It's the fight or flight overload thing going into full motion. So we forget to be kind to ourselves. You know, we want to help people. We want to care for people. We want to bring in upliftment, whatever it is that we're on here for. But you cannot pour from an empty cup. It's one of the oldest things I think I've seen on Facebook there, about you can't pour from an empty cup. And yet me, who's been doing this for 7, 8 years now, still forgets. And what tends to happen is life and other things will lay you flat. So my sense is with you, take the time out. Yes, there are other things there that are occupying your thoughts, but are they needed right now? So angel card for you to go away with there as well. Right, make a wish. Dreams become reality, and a joyful time of life. So it's green, which is all about your heart and your emotional situations there. So take time out to reflect, rest. You won't need to rest for long, but just recharge that battery. And it seems to be all gentlemen tonight. So you've got gentleman's energy with you that's just wishing you well, and a lot of love's being sent your way. Okay. Sharon. Right. I missed. Right. So one of my mods, right, she hasn't asked. Hi, Sharon. Hope you're well. I am just going to make this my last one here, because, say, don't want to go on too long, because you're punished for that as well on here if you go on too long. So I'm just coming on here, and my wonderful mod there, wife of the grumpy old Marine, lovely person. I did quite a few people last time when I was on, but missed this comment till the end, because I don't always get the comments, you see. So I'm going to make sure that I do this reading for you, wifey, and hopefully this will resonate with you. So because you was on later, the Fallen Angel deck there that apparently was appropriate for me, I won't make that mistake again. You know, I'd open wallet surgery. Well, I mean, the thing is as well, I think that they'll come in when they're meant to. I'm not quite sure, because originally I was going to put them out on my table when I'm doing the readings at shows and events, but I'm not so sure now. So we'll see where it goes. Right. So what I've done with you, because I've just sort of mixed the cards up, wifey, there, is I've gone with an angel oracle card, and I've gone with 2 of the oracle cards from the new deck. So, and bearing in mind, I've had no experience other than to take these out of the box yesterday and give the cards a quick shuffle. I've had a look at the artwork and the history, but it is time for change. It is time to push that development on. So again, I think that this is maybe about your spiritual journey rather than your earthbound journey. Maybe there's something out there that just needs a little tweak. maybe there's just something out there that needs an adjustment, and the pathway will then open up a little bit clearer than what it is at the moment. Right, so this is a strange one because spirit are coming in at me from two sides. Now, there's some thing I spoke about not liking the term crossroads, but I kind of feel like that's where you are spiritually at the moment. But you're getting spirit, for me, you're getting too much overload. There's too much going in there. You're trying to cram too much in. And the voice that you should be listening to now is that higher self guide there. And I feel like it's been drowned out by lots of other stuff. So there's a lot of distraction going on around you at this moment in time. So when it says change and development, I'm going to put change your development. And I just feel that with that, what's being said, and I've got a real motherly figure that's coming in and around you with this, that's giving me a waggy finger, is you're taking too much on, right? You need to sort of prioritize what's important to you at the moment. So change your own development. Change your own development. So that might just be your perception on things. Like, how much time are you giving to something? How much energy and effort are you expending on something, and what returns are you getting from it? Right. So when I've got that that change in that development, yes, there are things that need moving, but I've just got like that Indiana Jones movie where we've got to push things out of the way so certain channels open up. But I just feel really noisy. I feel really, really blocked in here. So I know I've said this a lot tonight, but I sense the same with you, is get back to what you used to do with your work, your spiritual side of you, because I just feel that maybe it's just had the polish took off it a little bit, got a little bit disillusioned, a little bit frazzled. I don't know, but it's just that sense of like it's too noisy in my head, so I can't quite think straight. So take some time out there. Second card there. All right, okay. Deception. Now, I've not had a look at the book for this because I'm not interested in doing that. I like me intuition. So, what is going around that we are being distracted from? What is it that we need to kind of like put the hands over the ears so we can actually hear what we want to hear? Who is spinning a yarn? Who is not quite being truthful? Who is not being upfront? What is that deception? Even if it's you that is deceiving yourself. So sometimes we make promises to the outside world and other people that we're going to be Superman and Wonder Woman and all this sort of stuff, and we fall short, and then we feel guilty. So we go into this place of introspection, and then that just flattens us out. So the frazzled side of things, I get it. So start from a clean slate. Start as you mean to go on. Like, learn to say, and I say this so regularly, yeah, I couldn't have put it any better. Work on your discernment. So basically what I'd be saying there is learn to say no. Every now and again, it just clears the decks for you. Like your message, there is so much to accomplish. Make a very detailed plan and being watched over by someone kind. I definitely think that. Very strong in character, this lady, as she comes in for me. And very, very no nonsense, you know, there's no sugar and spice and all that sort of thing. This is proper direct, you know, like I like to be with people, where you're protective and you help steer people through. But because you're such a tough character, you can tend to shun people and push people away. So maybe she's just coming in there and not taking no for an answer from you. So that's just my thoughts. That's just my feelings. Right, guys. I've worked on all of the comments. I really hope that I've managed to strike a chord. And I did get a message this morning from two clients that I work with. One said that I did some work with him a while back and it's really made a difference. And, you know, when you're feeling flat, it's lovely to receive those compliments, because, as I say, the flip side of the coin has been the difficulty with this algorithm and the editing and all of that shite. So I'm just going to stick to being me. I can't be anything else. I do my level best. I do get frustrated by things that lots of people will probably find dead easy. But here's the key. It's not going to stop me. I am going to push on despite my perceived limitations, because you don't know how capable you are until you're put in that situation where you're challenged. So the challenges are there to be met and be beaten. And the thing I'm going to leave you with is one of the people that supported me right from the very beginning has said to me, right, when you go out and do demonstrations and you do card readings for other people, can you please get in the habit of saying that if you've took anything from the broadcast tonight where you thought, that might apply to me, then please take that away. Because if you imagine that we're in this funnel box where all of this energy's come through, now I go where I feel I need to go, but maybe my radar's just a little bit off. So take the energy, take the healing energy, take your time, take as much as you need. And if you enjoyed this, please like, share and subscribe. If you don't like it, keep your bloody gob shut. Till the next time, thanks very much. I really appreciate your time and effort. I'm off for a brew. Cheers.